name is Samantha Anderson-Rosito, and for my audience, I have my brother Austin Anderson.
Hello.
My mother Monica Anderson.
Hello.
And my father Jeff Anderson.
Hello.
My specific purpose statement is to inform my audience about the threat of ISIS nationally and globally and how the U.S. is reacting. In the last decade, the war in Iraq has been one of the most controversial issues throughout the United States. The terrorist group ISIS, formerly known as Al-Qaeda, has grown to be a tremendous threat not only in the United States, but also globally. Their express goal is to establish Salafist government over the Levant region of Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Cyprus, and southern Turkey. The United States had control of this issue in Iraq by sending troops overseas to train the Iraqi forces. As ISIS has grown, becoming a threat once again, their reach has extended across the globe. When thinking about the war, most would think that it's limited to Iraq and Syria. This is not the case. There are several countries that are considered targets by ISIS. The United States, the Philippines, Australia, France, the United Kingdom, and Indonesia are all included. Officially, there have not been threats of any lone wolf attacks on the United States, but it is said that the group called on supporters from around the world to perform attacks on people in the United States. According to Mullen, the Philippine Islamist militant group of Abu Sayyaf has tweeted what it calls a warning letter to the governments of Germany and the Philippines, threatening to behead one of two German hostages. In return, this group demanded a ransom and that Germany had to remove their support of the United States' aid in Iraq and Syria. Australia, on the other hand, has hindered plans of a kidnapping of a person and the beheading of that person, along with draping the body in an ISIS flag. In response, Australia has enforced new laws stating that it is illegal to travel to places where terrorist groups are active. In France, not only has there been the beheading of Hervé Gourdel, a citizen that was kidnapped in Algeria, but there has also been the participation of French planes in airstrikes against ISIS in Iraq. The French are not the only ones participating in the fight. The United Kingdom is pursuing consent of taking part in the airstrikes against ISIS in Iraq. It also seems that Indonesia has supporters of its own. Mullen stated the support in Indonesia increases the risk of violence there, potentially directed at foreigners. The more this group is gaining support, the greater the threat develops. Although the United States' efforts have shown promise, it seems as if ISIS is still advancing on the forefronts of Iraq. Obama's administration is hoping to bring an end to this by appointing a new Prime Minister, Haider al-Abadi. Abadi plans on constructing a government that is more responsive. According to Kirkpatrick, the American official acknowledged that many of the Sunni sheikhs were slow to trust the new government. They wanted to be a part of the solution, but they only wanted to be included, but it's going to take some time. With the help of the U.S. airstrikes, the Iraq army has recaptured territory and turned it over to the police, only to have the control slip through their hands and go back to the Islamic State once again. Obama ran his presidency based on the notion of resending troops from Iraq. In 2011, this notion became true. Until recently, he was able to keep his promise. Outside of helping with airstrikes, Obama is hoping to assist the local government in another way. Once again, we will be sending troops back into Iraq. President Obama has authorized the deployment of an additional 1,500 American troops to Iraq in the coming months, doubling the number of Americans sent to train and advise Iraqi and Kurdish forces. The White House has asked Congress for an additional $5 billion for military operations. $1.6 billion of that will go towards training and equipping the Iraqi troops. They are hoping that this effort will help Iraq break down the Islamic State and recreate government control. The limits of ISIS are currently unknown, In order for the threat to the U.S. to diminish, we must give aid to the local government. Although we are sending troops back into Iraq, we have been promised that it is not for combat. It is strictly for training and equipping the Iraqi government. It is critical that the United States is cautious about our involvement in these events because of the possibility of deadly threats that could come with our actions. Thank you.